Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Arthur and today I will be covering a time-lapse of my self-portrait. This piece took me 6.5 hours to complete and I'm very happy with how it turned out. Every time I start a piece, I find a reference photo that I like and start a rough sketch. This piece in particular did not have a reference until I took a picture of myself at a later point. You'll notice that when I started the drawing, the proportions of the face looked wrong compared to mine, and the jaw seemed a little bit farther back. Thanks to the liquify tool, I was able to fix this fairly easily. A technique for adding color that I really enjoy is to draw the shapes and blacken the shading, or where I want the different values of color to be. You can see that on the jaw behind the ear, nose, chin, lips, there are some shapes with cross-hatching on them to signify a darker color. At this stage of adding color, I tried to experiment, and I decided to settle on something that was neon bluish, aquamarine, and some type of yellow and orange. Yellow and this aqua blue color, I think, work really well together, but a funny thing that it reminded me of after I was done doing the piece was the Bold and Brash from SpongeBob. Now, I used to watch SpongeBob all the time, and to be honest, the Bold and Brash, which is this, was hilarious. Like, that's probably one of the most memorable episodes of SpongeBob ever. Anyway, you'll see a comparison of that in the end of the video. At this point, you'll notice that the color of the piece got way brighter and more saturated. This is because I played around with the brightness and color balance tools. I figured that since I wanted to get away from the more realistic pieces that I do and go with something that would really pop, that I should change that color and maybe use a darker background like you see here. Funny enough, the background ended up being way lighter. Instead of the piece being totally neon / noir, it was very vibrant and overall, like, happier looking, if that makes any sense. There were also some parts that I thought needed more shading. If you look at the reference image that I used, you'll notice that there's more shading on the nose and the mouth because of my glasses and the angle at which the light hits my face from above. At this point, I figured that the face was a little bit too flat, so I added some highlights to actually get a little bit of a rounder shape. Looking back at the reference photo that I used, the hair was actually way darker in the photo, so I decided to just blacken that area and add some highlighting and rim light around it. At this particular angle, I also thought that it would be fitting to add shadow on the forehead from where the light hits the hair. Here's where things start getting fun. I decided that since I'm only doing a bust and not doing the shoulders or any of the body, that it would be really cool to add this decayed, scratched texture. Also, as you could see the screen flashing different colors, that was me messing around with the background and trying to find something that fit. This also might be very subtle to notice, but right now I'm working on the hair and just trying to get the hair a little bit more realistic looking. Now here's where I try to make the eyes shine while also getting the frame of the glasses. These glasses were difficult to draw and paint, but I got it looking fairly accurate to their original. Now that the frame for the frames was finished, I could use that to trace over and then try to make the lenses look shiny and see-through. Next, I blended the darker part of the right lens, which is actually the frame that had been distorted through that lens, with the lighter cyan, which added a little bit more depth. I finished up the details on the temples, which was easy enough, and onto the ears. Ears are just weird. If you talk to any artist, they will always tell you to look at reference, and that's my advice. Here I finished off the background with an orange color and decided to give the entire piece a brownish drop shadow before signing it, and here's the final piece.